Hey guys, it's the Insane Machine Cody Hawkins, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm the WrestleGamer. Don't be Billy Boudreaux. Got a few people to introduce you to. First off, the Studley man Ashley is here. Ashley, how you doing?
I thought you were Kenny Rogers.
Well, Ashley learns the difference between someone with a beard and without a beard. The next up, he is the host.
It off, the bastard.
The host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio is here, which can be heard exclusively on Spreaker.com/HWR Media and now on YouTube at YouTube.com/HWR Show. It's the luminous one, the shining star, Rick Star. Rick, how you shining?
Oh, no, you don't.
Rick.
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Hello. Yeah, we heard you.
Okay, I'm doing all right, Billy. Thanks for having me.
Our resident
We've got a
paranormal.
delay. We're coming via satellite.
I'm sure Dwayne Johnson knows a lot about that as we welcome in our resident paranormal investigator, the Dixie Carter Queef Chaser himself, the SOB known as Andy. Andy, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing I'm doing just fine. Yours
One.
Oh Lord. Anyway, James is here from the Big Easy. James, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Let's go.
He's the Bay Area MVP, known as Will. Will, how you doing?
Sweet home Mexico. Oh, wait, this ain't karaoke bar. Okay, I gotta do it there. All right, get across the border.
As we just
Karaoke night is tomorrow, featuring Great Carly.
He's
That's
like,
an event I plan on missing.
Sexy bye.
Well, as everyone has become incredibly racist here on the review, we're going to talk about the Impact Wrestling for the week of May 30th, 2013, the go-home show for TNA Slammiversary. Now, we open up with I feel should have been the main event of Impact Wrestling this week, and that's the reuniting of Team 3D in a tag match. Bully Ray and Devon taking on Sting and Joseph Park. For the life of me, I still don't understand why TNA sees any faith in this Joseph Park gimmick. I really don't understand why they want to keep with it. You know, maybe they think there's some probative entertainment value in having Abyss, aka Joseph Park, just go out there and make him look like a total fool. But despite my gripes about it, this was still a great match. A matchup that's more convinced, you know, in my mind, that should have been the Impact Wrestling main event, because you got your four biggest stars, well, three of your biggest stars. I'm really not going to put Joseph Park in that category just yet. But, you know, you had Sting, Bully Ray, and, well, you know what? I'm going to change that to two. You got your two guys in the main event. Ooh. Yeah, I kind of think, you know, I got to remember, it's Devon. Devon sucks as a singles wrestler, even though TNA put a useless title on him anyway. But this was, again, a really great opening match. I really can't say nothing bad about it. But, however, they did use an old, repetitive maneuver. And that's the maneuver of, during the match, they played Abyss's music, and just like always, Bully Ray got distracted by it, and while Bully Ray was distracted, Sting hits the Scorpion Death Drop and gets the pin on Devon before Bully Ray even realized what happened. And man, I can only say I've seen that about 5 million times in wrestling, you know, over my 25 years of being a fan of it and being involved on the industry.
Only 5 million.
Only. Well, I could go higher than that. Then again, it would probably be a little bit ludicrous on that. I'm going to give the opening a 4 out of 5. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 because of the fact the match quality was indeed really, really good and a good opening for Impact Wrestling. But the fact they used such a predictable move, you know, something we've seen time in and time out in the wrestling industry, it just felt like it was just a big slap in the face. You know, you had a great match, but a crap ending. Now, for this next segment, We're gonna go hands in pants. I mean, we're gonna talk about it with our resident paranormal investigator, Andy. Andy, a couple of things I want you to comment on is one, why Dixie Carter was there and what she was talking about and what happened after it.
I don't know. I had my hand down my pants and the sound turned off.
That's how it usually happens with Dixie Carter segments with Andy. So you know.
Dixie Carter basically said that, well, a couple of things. One from Twitter saying that she signed up a free agent. Apparently will be revealed, 4 years' time, like Borhurst. Then you've got the announcement of that whoever's going to be in the next Hall of Fame slot, which will be announced on the pay-per-view. My guess is it will probably be the Johnsons. Fuck off! For their contribution to everything TNA. And then Aces and H just randomly came out. What it was, she wished Sting the best of luck in the match. Garrett Bischoff basically came out and says, why don't you wish Buddy Ray any good luck? Well, mainly because he's the guy that's selling all the merch, so he doesn't need luck, he's got money. And then Samoa Joe comes out and says, hang on, I'm setting up a match. So apparently Samoa Joe is now booking for this company.
Well, when you're looking at a guy like Samoa Joe, would you argue with him?
Yeah. I'd argue with him. I'd lose, but I'd still argue with him, just for the heck.
I'd tell him he still looks like Rikishi.
He's a bad man.
Oh, man.
And the way them shorts are ripped at the moment, he can almost do a Sting face now. He's almost got the thong.
Nervous?
You should be.
I'm very nervous right now, but actually, talk about the actual matchup with Samoa Joe and Garrett Bischoff. It was an okay match in my opinion, but the fact of the matter is, personally to me, to have the match end about 2 minutes coming back from commercial break, it seemed kind of odd to me.
Garrett Bischoff saying basically, I've had enough, and got counted out.
No, what happened was Magnus was also there at ringside, and Doc was trying to interfere. Magnus took exception to that and started racing and tried to have a fight with both him and Wes Briscoe. Garrett Bischoff saw that was going on, decided to go out there and started a 3-on-1 beatdown on Magnus and got counted out doing that.
Same kind of thing. He just basically had enough. He had enough of fighting Samoa Joe and went for the easier target.
Yeah, and then we get the announcement of a big match for Slammiversary, right?
Yeah. Joe says, "Okay, it's gonna be you, Garrett Bischoff, you, Wes Briscoe, and you, Missing Link. He's back, apparently. Not only is he now Festus and Mass Kane, and what was his Luke Gallows, but now he's not only Doc, but he's also the Missing Link. Eventually, we're gonna find out that he was actually the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh God!
I don't know, but it's gonna be
Them three against Magnus, Samoa Joe,
and a returning Jeff Hardy. And as soon as Jeff Hardy's name is mentioned, Aces and Eights go, oh my God, it's the end of the world.
talking. I've seen worse acting in an American TV soap. That's saying something.
Care about her. About all of this.
Your score, Ash?
Didn't give a shit.
Give it a level. Well, no, you can't really give it a level 3, 2.5.
Well, up next, Rick, was a big preview for the Four Corners tag team match for the tag team titles, as we had an 8-man. It was James Storm, Gunner, Chavo Guerrero, and Hernandez taking on Bad Influence and Austin Aries and Bobby Roode. One key thing we really need to note about this match, Rick, is we didn't see any in-ring action with Cowboy James Storm, right?
Oh, well, yeah, that was pretty much, Storm pretty much stayed in the corner. He had his leg taped up real good. Gunner, and of course Hernandez and Chavo pretty much carried all the leg weight, carried this match. that pretty much said if by come this Sunday, if Cowboy is not up to 100%, that's exactly what's going to happen. Gunner is going to probably carry the match, which wonders, how's that match going to turn out. But talking about this match, it was a really good 8-man tag. At the end of the match, Gunner wound up getting the win
by using the human torture
score
rack.
for the match. Yes, the human torture rack. The score for this match, it was a great match. It was nothing super special about it. I had to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
An ode to the total package, Lex Luger, with Gunner's finisher on that one. Haven't seen anyone really utilize the human torture rack since the days of Lex Luger in WCW, so it's not very often we get to see that. And when Gunner pulling it off, Rick, how would you compare? I know it's a little bit off topic, but how would you compare Gunner's version of the human torture rack to Lex Luger's back in WCW?
I think he pulled it off well. He did an excellent job. And I think if they're going to really be pushing him, that's definitely going to be the move. That's show him a lot of success, because we know his first run, he was getting, he was doing well, but unfortunately he just a great push. The fact that he's running next, at least in the tag team, with James Storm, whether it's just for a short run, or if they win the title for a long time, I think it's gonna help him.
James, up next, we actually have something that we don't see in the WWE, and that's their TNA knockouts on the microphone in the ring, actually cutting a promo about a storyline, because normally we don't see WWE divas doing that nowadays, or at all, if any. But we had Mickie James out there to kind of do a championship celebration. Now, taking from what happened in last week's match and what was going on in this promo, would you say that they're really trying to turn Mickie James heel?
Yeah, it looks like they want to turn Mickie James heel, even though she tried her best, to not look like she was gonna turn heel, but then really it's Velvet's guy came out okay, you won the match, you got it, all right, but I get my rematch, and I want my rematch at Slammiversary. And then Mickie says oh no, Brooke Hogan says that there is a match at Slammiversary, and it's not the title match. It's gonna be Gail Kim and Terrell in a
last knockout standing.
Last knockout standing, and then Gail Kim comes out. It's I should be the champion. And also, you won the title because it was my hope, because I helped soften up Velvet Sky for you. And then we had Gail Kim attacking Velvet Sky with on that injured knee, quote unquote injured knee, and try to bring Velvet Sky to the ring post but Terrell ran down and protected Velvet Sky with interesting Mickie James slowly walking away on the stage.
That's something we really haven't seen out of Mickie James in TNA, is an actual heel persona. She's been working nothing but face. We've seen her work heel in WWE as Psycho Mickie, but then ever since they turned her face, and there she's just been working that as a wrestling persona. So, with her trying to go heel, it really makes for an interesting thing. An interesting little twist in TNA knockouts. And Charlie shouldn't have said that, because Andy will probably start thinking dirty thoughts. Your score in the segment, James?
Right. This is hell.
The segment, I'll give it a 4 out of 5, because as I said, you don't see this much with the divas. You see maybe backstage segment, but you don't see them out in the ring coming out this and this on the microphone.
The only one thing I have to say that was really bad about that segment was, if you noticed, when Velvet Sky came down to the ring, she looked, she had her knee taped up, but she came down to the ring in high heels.
Yeah,
that's why I say That's why I say quote unquote injury.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, anybody with like a half a brain, Andy, would have to say, you know, if you're out there and you're supposed to sell a knee injury, the wearing like high-footed footwear doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You know, if you're supposed to be selling a knee injury, Velvet Sky just, honestly, to me, you know, despite what you were looking at, Andy, you know, you gotta admit, you know, she did a terrible job trying to sell that knee injury.
Yeah, she should have come down with crutches or something and a pair of trainers on at least, but high heel shoes. She just didn't sell it at all. But the only good thing, pat on the back for the team at TNA. At least it proves that their Diva division is far better than the WWE's, because they can actually go in the ring as in wrestling, and they can also go on the microphone, which is more than the WWE can achieve at the moment.
100% agree on that one. Well, let's look up to the following match. It was a mixed tag match with Chris Sabin and Terrell taking on Kenny King and Gail Kim. In both senses, this is a build not only for the X Division title match at Slammiversary, but the last knockout standing match as well between Terrell and Gail Kim. Talk a little bit about this match.
Well, I can only say that you pretty much put it out there saying, you know, it's both built up for both matches, but I was really more interested in Kenny King and Chris Sabin. I think this is going to be more of the better match than the last knockout standing match. And, you know, add a little bit of suicide to the flavor, you got a recipe for disaster. But if I would have to say much about the match, it was back and forth. I'm still not buying the fact that Terrell is much of a wrestler yet, but she can put some moves. Pretty much.
I'm
Just
gonna
basically, I didn't really like the match. Generally saying, and I'll give it about a 3.6 out of 5.
Actually, tonight was really the very first opportunity you got to see the new Suicide, or a lot of people believe that to be T.J. Perkins underneath the guise of Suicide, and he did perform the new finisher, which is like a double chicken wing into a gut buster. What were your thoughts on seeing that maneuver?
It seems to be kind of like a variant on the actually move that he had in the video game.
The DOA?
Yeah. It's got the same style flip, hasn't it? Except it just hasn't got him doing like the gun to his head style thing. So it's kind of good to see that they've harkened back to that. And if it is TJ Perkins, then you've got 2/3 of a Ring of Honor match there.
It's already been confirmed
Kenny
it's TJ Perkins, Ashley. They already confirmed it really is him.
Yeah. Although I do remember that, I think Christopher Daniels claimed it was somebody else in a joking way. I think he claimed it was like possibly somebody like Foley or something. What? just as a joke. I mean, actually, no. I think it was Takeshi Morishima, who at that very same time was wrestling in New Japan. So how it couldn't have been him at all. I think it was something like that.
Main event on Impact Wrestling this week on the Go Show saw AJ Styles taking on Mr. Anderson, and match quality wise, and Ashley, I gotta say, this matchup would belong on a pay-per-view, because this was just worked so well. You know, we got two good main eventers like Styles and Anderson, and they just, to me, were like one of the brightest points of this week's Impact.
Match was good, ending not so much.
Well, yeah, that's why I said only match. Ending came, of course, with Kurt Angle coming in to attack AJ Styles to again build up to their matchup at Slammiversary, and then followed by Aces and Eights, and then we get Sting, Joseph Park, Magnus, Samoa Joe. It turns into an Aces and Eights and TNA brawl, which saw Aces and Eights come out on top, and for the love of God, Bully Ray, learn to use a wash rag for your face. That's all I'm gonna say. But other than that, I thought this was.
Watch drag. Oh no.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that either, probably. But anyway, main event. I'm really got to give it. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5, like with the opening, but just because of the lame ending, you know. But you know, for your go home show, you would figure you would have a better ending than that. But to have a good main event match like AJ Styles and Mr. Anderson put on a good content wise a good match despite the bad ending, I think was a good move by TNA. But overall main event, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Overall score on the go home show, the TNA Slammiversary, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. You know, we had a good strong opening with Sting, Joseph Park taking on Team 3D. The Dixie Carter announcement kind of makes me wonder, you know, just who is, you know, not only the next inductee into the TNA Hall of Fame, but who is this big independent contractor, this big star that she signed to TNA? Hint, hint. Look at John Morrison's Twitter then you'll probably know the answer. Samoa Joe and Garrett Bischoff.
It's the Miz.
Samoa Joe and Garrett Bischoff was okay, but then we have the announcement of a big six-man tag. Samoa Joe, Magnus, and Jeff Hardy taking on Briscoe, Bischoff, and Doc. The eight-man tag with Cowboy, James Storm, Gunner, Chavo, and Hernandez defeating Bad Influence, Austin Aries, and Bobby Roode. For some reason on Facebook, I saw a lot of comments about Austin Aries being in the doghouse. I don't know if there's any validity to those statements. I don't know if they're really putting him in the doghouse, possibly for that incident with Christy Hemme. I'm not too sure. But
Speaking of, apparently somebody spotted at ringside SoCal Val talking with Christy Hemme. And then SoCal puts her fingers up to her ear. And then rapidly puts it down again. And then just continues watching the match. So I've got a feeling, you know, SoCal Val is on the inside, if you know what I mean.
Also, key thing
Go gadget something.
as Ashley tries to pay homage to Don Adams. Also, key thing to note: Cowboy James Storm, no in-ring action. Kind of makes me wonder: will we see the same thing at TNA Slammiversary if he is not healthy enough for it? The promo with Mickie James and Velvet Sky. You know what? I'm very interested to see where they take this now with Mickie James. If they really do turn her heel, I want to see how they work a heel Mickie James in TNA. You know, what kind of persona, what kind of character will they make her become as a heel in TNA? That's interesting to see. Chris Sabin and Terrell defeating Kenny King and Gail Kim. I thought it was good and, you know, nice sort of build. We kind of see a build into almost every match from TNA Slammiversary on your go-home show. I think that's probably one of the best ways to work your go-home show, is to have basically a build to every one of your matches involved on your go-home show. Just like with AJ Styles and Mr. Anderson, and then the run interference by Kurt Angle then just turns into a big brawl with Aces and Eights coming out on top on that. So it was a strong opening, kind of a strong finish. Content was still okay. I can't give it a full 4 out of 5. Ashley, I got to go 3.5 out of 5. What about you? Your overall score and thoughts?
Level 3 it has to be for me. Nothing spectacular happened. Wasn't that strong of a go-home show, but it could have been. Again, I think this is because the way that they're taping it means that when you get to like your last hour, the crowd isn't going to be into it, because the fact is they've had to sit through 3.5 hours already. It's like wrestling overload. You could tell when the crowd popped absolutely crazy when they announced Jeff Hardy, because that was done in the first hour before they had the live show last week. And then for like for pretty much the second half of the whole Impact show this week, the crowd were like, we don't care. One thing I will give props to, though, is the announcement of Bound for Glory. They've already announced that it's going to be coming from San Diego in California, which is, I think, the first time that TNA is going to be having a pay-per-view West Coast.
Yeah, I think so. I think the furthest they've been is like Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
But anyway, let's go to the Shining Star Rick Star and get his overall score and thoughts.
I thought the show wasn't too bad. I do have to agree with Ash what they say about this being the second show in the week. You could definitely see the atmosphere of the crowd. They were just completely worn out. The opening was great. Yeah, the ending could have been a little bit better. One of my biggest issues with the knockouts was just the way Velvet Sky sold it. She was walking down. She wasn't limping. She's walking in high heels. I'm like, for someone who's supposed to be a professional, who just is a former world knockout champion, I would have expected a lot more. She just didn't think it or just didn't even care. But the segment itself wasn't too bad, and hopefully, maybe when she gets a real injury, she'll learn to limp a little bit. Wow. Anyway, the main event I thought was okay, great. So AJ Styles, whenever he's in the ring, no matter what he does, it never fails to impress me. Anderson, same thing, great. I think we're going to start slowly but surely seeing the finally demise of the Aces and Eights. And that's probably going to happen right after this pay-per-view, and it's about time. And hopefully a new chapter in TNA, and maybe we'll start getting things to get better. 3 out of 5 for me.
All right, let's go to Andy. Andy, your overall score and thoughts.
Andy.
Well, Andy might be away right now, so let's go over to James in the meantime. James, your overall score and thoughts.
Billy, I was thinking about that. You say that they hyped up all the matches. There's one match you kind of forgot that didn't hype up, but they only talked about it. The Jay Bradley versus Sam Shaw match.
Well, let me correct myself. Matches that will be relevant.
I wonder why they didn't mention it.
Even though it's the TNA Gut Check tournament. The TNA Gut Check tournament finals for the entries for the Bound for Glory series.
Because even if they get in, they're not going to win it.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, but
AJ or Abyss is going to win, so.
Yeah, that's true. But I like the beginning. I like the first match. Going down. To what MVP said, I kind of agree with him with the Terrell. But if you can make Brooke Tessmacher a relevant star in TNA, they can do anything with their knockouts division.
So your overall score?
So my overall score for TNA, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
All right, let's go over to Will next. Will, your overall score and thoughts.
All right, Mike, that's going down the line here. I agree with you, Billy, on the fact that Team 3D should have been the last match, but they decided to open it up. I was just very not impressed with this at all, not by a long shot. And I mean, they really need to get rid of this Joseph Park thing. It is not boding well with the fans. I mean, he's coming out here looking like a scared lawyer with vinegar coming down his neck. He's always sweating, perspiring when he comes to the ring, but,
Doesn't sweat.
Whatever it is. Dixie Carter with her $200 hairstyle talking about, her little announcement on Twitter and the John Morrison thing. Now that she didn't mention that on the show, but
The question is John Morrison following her or is she following him?
I'm not too sure.
Because if Morrison's he's following her. I think he might have
He's
done
following
this
her.
because
She did not follow him.
I think this might be him working the internet because we know he likes to do that.
Pretty much so.
Everybody's putting 2 and 2 together and they're making, 74,872,429.
Out of 1-on-1.
What a match score, but yeah, going back.
0.7.
I just think the Aces and Eights trying to scare Dixie Carter was a flop, to which they announced that Jeff Hardy is going to be the the third person with Joe and Magnus. I mean, decent pick. I mean, how long's been Hardy gone? Almost a little bit over 2 months now.
Mhm.
So yeah, Samoa Joe match with Garrett Bischoff. Ugh, give me a break. That was a wash. The 8-man tag team. I'm gonna say this: Gunner looks amazing. Good pick by Storm. To have him as his partner going into the Fatal 4-Way for the tag team title match. Very impressive.
There is one problem with Gunner.
Okay.
He looks like he's got smoking tobacco on his face. Seriously.
Okay.
It's like he just picked up a hay bale and he just like got some super glue. There you go.
Like you guys mentioned about the Velvet Sky no sell her injury. I mean, who in the fuck wears high heels when injured unless it's K-pop? This is ridiculous. Didn't sell that, and like James mentioned, Mickie James walking away like the little scurry that she is. So you know heel turns in the works. So, and the mixed tag team match, like I stated earlier, I didn't watch much of it, so I'll bypass that one. Now, the AJ Styles winning by disqualification, what the fuck was Angle thinking? I really don't know. But, guess hell bent on revenge. And the brawl, which led to Sting getting beat up, I don't know. Like I said, Slammiversary, there's going to be a lot of twists and turns, so be prepared, everyone. And my final score will be a 3.8 out of 5.
All right, is Andy back?
I think he. No.
All right, so on that note, ladies
He's
and
got to
gentlemen,
follow Dixie Carter on Twitter.
I thought he was already stalking her. Anyway, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Impact Wrestling this week. Make sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Rick, where can fans go to check you out on HWR?
Well, of course, they want to find me on my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/hardcore wrestling radio. And of course, if you ever want to listen to our shows, you can find me on 2 places. That's over at Spreaker.com/HWR Media. And now you can find us over on YouTube. That's YouTube.com/HWR Show.
We have our 2 Insta-Give game show gurus in James and Will. Guys, what you got coming up?
Nothing really much coming up. Tomorrow, I guess we're just going to be prepared for Slammiversary pretty much. Next couple of days, it's going to be nothing but chillaxing and getting prepped for the pay-per-view on my side.
Same over here, but we still will do game shows in the morning, on the weekends.
And our old friend Andy is also part of the group known as Stoke Haunted. Be sure you guys check them out on youtube.com/StokeHaunted, and also check out their website, which is stokehaunted.com. Also, don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the Studley Man Ashley, the Illuminous One, the Shining Star, Rick Star, our resident paranormal investigator, the SOB known as Andy, our friend James from the Big Easy, and the Bay Area MVP known as Will, I'm the Russell Gamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching. We also like to remind everyone that Gulf Coast Wrestling presents the Rock in the House weekend with our very special guests Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express. Friday, June 28th at the Station Bar and Grill in Broussard, Louisiana. Saturday, June 29th at the KC Hall in Plaquemine, Louisiana. And Sunday, June 30th at the American Legion Hall in Abbeville, Louisiana. For more information, please call 337-251-0546 or visit gcw-gulfcoastwrestling.com.
Is it me or is it coincidence that I hear a story about TNA bringing out a new video game possibly in the near future? And then I go on to Amazon America's site and find that on the Nintendo DS there's a game called Chimp Act.
Stoke Haunted. Stoke Haunted. Stoke Haunted.
My name's Andrew Weatherall.
Spirituals Media. Stoke Haunted.